Good Tuesday morning, everyone. I hope all of you have had a good night and got a great night's sleep. I did. I don't know what it is, but I'm loving these cooler nights that are making for such wonderful sleeping weather. Give me one second while I get my side chat up. I realize that it is very early and a lot of people are either sleeping, getting ready for work, or what have you, and that's perfectly fine. People can watch on the replay. I just wanted to go ahead and get this done and over with. Hold on one moment as I share this on. Hello, Bailey. Good morning. As I share this on Twitter. Hey, Patricia. Truth teller. Glad to see you here. So, apparently, hey, mom of three boys. Glad to see you here. Apparently, during the night, Sofuggit was up doing some videos. Again, she's never sleeping at night. Another one very much like, I didn't listen to all of it, Lori. I didn't listen to all of it at all. I listened to the one part where I heard she was talking about me. And it's the same old lie that she always tells about me, that I'm a recluse, that I live a fabricated life, yada, yada, yada. Good morning, Corgi Mom. Good morning, Kit Kat. So let me tell you the truth about Sofuggit. Sofuggit came to this community around the spring of 2015 and quickly made a name for herself, and not a good name for herself, mind you. She wanted to be, good morning, Deborah Jones. She wanted to be top lady of everything around here. Now, if you listen to Pathological Liar Vegas Vixen, she will say that she came to the community around June or so, 2015, and that Tucker got her in a war against Corey. Any of us that had been here know that's not the truth. Tucker had nothing to do, good morning, Nick, had nothing to do with a war of her and Corey. What it boiled down to was two women that wanted to be in control that couldn't be. And quickly, Corey made a name for herself, as I said, not a good name. Um, hey, Polly, she, in August of 2015, now mind you, had only been here since spring. Lady Rory told Melton on his chat that she wants him to put his foot in her vagina. She says stuff like that all the time. That's the type of person that she is, Rub. That's the type of person that she is. Um, Keep in mind, she had only gotten here in the spring, and by August, she was coming up with this excuse to flee from North Carolina to Florida. At first, she said that her daughter was trying to stab her and she had to leave. Then it became that her husband was abusing her and she had to have this GoFundMe, scam GoFundMe number one. Um, she did that and she lost a ton of support. A ton of support. Quite honestly, she's never recouped what she once had when she was originally around on board. Good morning, Ace. Thank you so much. And good morning, Cheshire. So I look at Corey. She's somebody that has a seventh grade education. She's never been part of the clique, so to speak. She's never had, real friends and anything like that. Good morning, Carla. And she's always trying to project her life onto others. She also admittedly has spent her time that she ever since she came on board, and I'm sure she's been like this everywhere she's ever been, uh, running background checks on people. She would brag about the fact that she had 3 and 4 background check companies that she paid for. Good morning, for paid for to run background checks on people. Except keep in mind, this is someone that can't live in their means. She's wasting money all these years on background checks, and she can't live in her means, and she's having to have GoFundMe's and ask people to borrow money to put their dogs down and all kind of like that, but she's spending money on background checks on people. Let that sink in for you. She's raising her eldest daughter's two sons, and she has had them online in their underwear. She has kept them up at all hours of the night. For everyone that knows, they lived in an RV for 2 years, and she would be up all night long, live. You could see the boys behind her. It would be waking them up. Good morning, Wolf, when they should have been sleeping. Uh, I really don't know what she said that is sickening, because like I said, I didn't listen to her. I heard the part where it was the standard lie. Hello, Brazilian. The standard lie that you people are really off your rocker because she thinks that you keep me going. You're not my friends. You just keep this mad woman going. Good morning, Missy. And that I'm a recluse and that I have a fabricated life. I've never met this woman. I've spoken to her on the phone one time. This is the woman that contacted our daughter and harassed her right before she went into a coma and passed away. Heather handed Corey her ass. All of the information, screenshots, all of that is out there. If you go back to my video of last week, I prove everything that she said and the egg donor and stepdad said. I prove all of that. All of that. Good morning, Sonia. Then, after Heather passed, she contacted the egg donor, Heather's egg donor. Thank you so much, Pammy, and so glad to have you here. Yes, it is. And went into my private life at a time when it was the worst time of our life, when our grandchildren had just been born prematurely, when Heather was on life support, and when Heather passed away. And she continued to do that. She would make comments like, oh, I'm going to be in these twins' life, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. Uh, Corey is a known liar. She is a known scammer. She ran a scam GoFundMe for mine and Thomas's grandchildren. Let that sink in. She ran a scam GoFundMe for our grandchildren and then ended up taking it down herself and reporting it because, lo and behold, what Lindy said was right. And the people that the money was going to were nothing but scammers. She went into my private life because she hated on me. And she's continued to do this for 18 months. She was shunned out of the Twitter community after making racist comments to a group of women. We have no idea, but she was buying TVs and all kind of big money projects at that time. Truth Teller says, can you imagine going online insisting you're going to be involved in this? Exactly. And anybody that has confronted her about what she did in contacting Heather and everything, she still says that she has a right to do that. Well, I'm going to have a right to do some things when it comes to your life, Corey. I'm going to have a right to do some things to you. I've made it clear. You just need to stay out of my life and my private life. And whether you want to accept it or not, that means those twins. That means Heather. You're telling lies of a egg donor and a stepdad. Who in their right mind on here would... She sought these people out to come on YouTube and trash me. What does it tell you about people that come online trashing people like that? Exactly, Brazilian. Oh, I didn't know Carla Marie did lives. I'm going to have to check that out, Carla. I'm sorry I missed that. She wrote this big long thing over on Rory's video that she put up and said, people don't want to hear any other side. People want to hear the truth. I didn't know that Kat did one this morning, Jack. Um, I didn't listen to all of Corey's because I just didn't want to hear the nonsense. Didn't want to hear, yes, meatloaf. Uh, a loving mother and stepfather. She was not a loving mother, and Heather hated her stepfather. Do you consider a loving stepfather someone that threatens to bash his stepdaughter's head in with a baseball bat? I proved all that. I showed all of that online. Do any of you in here think that that sounds like a loving stepfather that calls his stepdaughter a slut and threatens to bash her head in with a baseball bat? Does that sound like a loving stepfather to any of you? And that's fact. Fact. I showed the proof of that where Heather talked about it on her phone. Her mother, nor him, came when she was sick in the hospital, when she was laying on life support. And we had to make the decision to take her off life support. They never even came. They didn't come. They had 4 days. He is abusive. He has arrest for domestic violence. He's very abusive, and they're both alcoholics. Now, I never said at any point in time, one of the things that Vegas lied about the other day was I said that the mother was removed from the hospital. I never said any such thing. I never said any such thing. Nope, didn't say that. She did not come to the hospital when Heather died, and she was only there briefly right after Heather gave birth because they've spewed Heather's story all around. Kelly, egg donor, came from San Antonio, Texas, and went to Johnson City, but the moment she found out that Heather was addicted to drugs, she got in her car and hightailed it back to San Antonio and did not one thing to help Heather. Didn't let Thomas know that their daughter was in a situation so he could help her. Hightailed it back to San Antonio and didn't do a thing to help her. What mother does that? What mother does that? Then Corey goes on to say, grief has a way of taking precedence over this shit. Really? Thomas had to beg her to come to the funeral. We postponed the funeral that we paid for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks. So that they could come to the funeral. And they went out and got drunk the night of the funeral. They do that all the time. They are alcoholics. Anytime you see a picture of them, it is at some bar somewhere. That's their life. Yeah, it was. Her proudest moment was taking her GED. They want no part of this insanity. Then why did you bring them into it, Corey? You sought them out. You sought them out, Corey, to bring them online to talk about me. You did that. You did that. You would have a fit if somebody did that to you, but you think that you have that right because you don't like me. Then she goes on to say, all they have left is her ashes. Yes, 25% of her ashes they have, because even though they're pieces of garbage, Thomas and I were still kind enough to allow them to have 25% of their ashes. Her best friend got 25%, and her best friend is a female. It's not the Albie that was lying with the stepdad, not her best friend. Her best friend got the ashes, got 25% of them. The rest of them are ours, and we will be giving some to the twins when they are older. We paid for the funeral. We paid everything for that girl. Everything. Out of the goodness of our heart, we allowed them to have those ashes. We didn't have to do that. We didn't have to do that. Um, exactly, Brazilian. Exactly. Well, she's trying to start a whole thing on Boyd that I'm some kind of hate against people. Let's see. Weirdo, and Weirdo has been around since before Corey, so Weirdo knows what's going on. Corey has been employed 90% of her life, but moves in a homeless gay man to babysit her grandkids. Yep, exactly, exactly. Um, Last night I was told. I don't know if any of you have saw the video that I put up yet about Cindy Talks. Cindy Talks was a person that was perfectly fine with me when I was on Boris's panel. Didn't know her, just knew her as somebody in a side chat. And when Boris and I parted ways, she, well, they will be protected, Bailey. They will know the truth from their grandfather. Thomas raised Heather. Kelly decided that she would rather have a man than raise her youngest daughter. She had another daughter that she chose to raise, but she signed custody over to Thomas when Heather was 5 years old, and he raised her in Johnson City, Tennessee. Um, yeah, he actually does need therapy. So, Corey has been trying to meddle in my life since April of 2018. Hello, Mills. Welcome. Heather has not been allowed to rest in peace because of these people. If you believe rest in peace, that's a term. We don't really, as Christians, believe is rest in peace because we believe that absence of the body is to be present with the Lord. That's our belief. Not everybody believes that way. Good morning, Aggie. Yes, that you're waking up to something, Aggie. So last night, she was trying to get in contact with Cindy Talks because, see, she likes to collect people that don't like me to bring them over to her side. Good morning, Sour Patch. Last week, I was sent a downloaded scope of Boris's where Cindy Talks had been in there talking about the fact that she had on Facebook and was trying to find pictures and information about our grandchildren. Again, somebody I don't know other than a side chat, never had a private conversation with her, nothing. Is that you? Text me if that's really you, hipster, because why is your wrench gone? Text me and let me know if that's really you, because I can't check right now. I don't know why your wrench would be gone. Um, can anybody look? That's not hipster, is it? No, that's not hipster. Let me look right here. He's a whooped man. If you've ever listened to him, um, thank you. He's a whooped man. He does everything that she says. He has no voice. He's never had a voice in that marriage at all. At all. Never had a voice in there. Well, hipster's made it. She's got a troll account now. Um, he's never had a voice. So Cindy had gone into Boris's scope. I don't listen to his scope, so I didn't know that this had gone on. And it was downloaded and sent to me. And she was talking about how she had gone to Facebook and was trying to get information on our grandchildren. Those children have a hard enough life ahead of them. Their mother is dead. Their father has been arrested. Uh, he's facing a lot of time. Good morning, Tammy. He's facing a lot of time in federal prison, enough time that he probably will not be in those children's lives eventually. And They have enough going on in their lives, being born premature, being born addicted, having a custody thing going on, that somebody like Cindy Talks is going to go to Facebook and admit that she's over there trying to find information about our grandchildren. Look, it's like my friend Tracy said in here the other day, I will bitch stomp you and I will sit in prison the rest of my life with a smile on my face if you think that you're going to harm those kids in any way possible. It's not going to happen. They're none of your business. None. There's still an open investigation going on with all of this. All of this, still an investigation going on. So she made a scope last week threatening me upside down, telling me how ugly I was, and she's going to call the police, and she's going to do this, and she's going to do that. And I just laid the facts out the way that Lindy lays the facts out. And I stand by those facts. You mess in those kids' life. Hello, Steve. You try to find out information about them, you're going to get the same kind of treatment in your life, Cindy. You're going to get the same kind of treatment in your life. Yes, I do know where you work. I did threaten your job because only thing that I have told people, bitch about me all you want to. Yes, and she is a drunk Brazilian. She is. Only thing I have said to you is stay the hell out of my private life. That's not too hard. I don't care about Cindy's daughter. I don't care about her grandkids or anything like that. I'm not going to Facebook trying to find information about them. That is crossing lines that you have no business to be crossing. Then she thought that she was going to go to Scope, hello, Debbie, and threaten me every which way, but right and left. And I just basically said, how would you like for a detective to call your boss and let them know that you're nosing into an investigation regarding innocent twins that have lost their mother, she's dead, and their father is facing a large prison sentence? So, yes, ma'am, I did say that. I will do whatever it takes to protect those kids. Any grandmother would, any mother would, anybody would do that. I will not apologize for that. So, ever since then, Cindy has been going around telling people that I'm causing people to hate her and that I threatened her job. Of course, leaving out everything that led up to this point, leaving all of that out. And I was sent a screenshot last night where Corey is trying to get involved with her and said, um, email me so we can talk about this. Again, it's none of your business, Corey. It's none of your business. Oh, good point, Polly. You're probably right. You're probably right. Um, Ace, you would think that they would have their own lives to contend with and things like that. You would think that they would. Good morning, Tom Tom. Nobody that I talk to and that I've been around thinks what Corey did is right. She contacted Heather right after, there you go, Johnny. She contacted Heather right after she had given birth by emergency C-section, which she knew because Kat and Boris had already called into my private life the week that the twins were born. Again, another people that have no right calling into anybody's private life. And there Heather was trying to go back and forth between the hospital because the twins were still in the NIC unit. She had just given birth via emergency C-section. She had had one ripped staples incident. And then she's got this nutso from the internet, Corey, contacting her. Good morning, Debbie. Contacting her, saying a bunch of nonsense about me. And Heather handed her her ass and she said she is a loving, caring grandmother that would give these children the world. And that's the truth. That's the truth. And that wasn't what Corey wanted to hear. Corey has basically, and Weirdo, and she's basically been ostracized from this community for about 3 years. About 3 years, because she just kept running scams. She kept running background checks on people. She kept starting drama with people. Um, at one time, she hated Kat and Rory so badly that she created a message board called Guru Tattletales, a whole message board that was dedicated to trashing Kat and Rory, who now she considers to be BFFs. That's the convolutedness here. That's the convolutedness in all of this. So, Corey, you can take a bench. I'm not a recluse. I have a very happy, productive life. You don't. You all only have one car. You stay up all night long on the internet. You half-ass get the boys up for school. You have said many times that I've been told that they got up late and they didn't even brush their teeth. What kind of mother is that? And you're basically their mother, even though you're their grandmother. You're staying up all night long on the internet. Then you get them up, get them to the bus stop, and then you sleep all damn day until it's time for them to get up again. So don't talk to me about being a recluse. That's your life, sister, not mine. That's not my life. That's yours. Weirdo says Corey has very few of the same people who still come to her hangouts. Exactly. She cut ties with Tucker. She cut ties with Debbie Areola. Debbie Areola was a devoted friend to Corey and a devoted friend to me. I never mentioned Corey to Debbie. And Debbie has said that before. She has said, Lindy never mentioned Corey to me at all. At all. But Corey couldn't stand the fact that, Debbie was friends with me. So she cut Debbie completely out of her life. Someone that they've met before, spent a weekend together before, cut Debbie completely out of her life because of that. Bailey says, if recluse means staying out of the drama and living your best life while ignoring the fuckery that's YouTube. Exactly. Exactly. Love you, Carla. I know that most people don't believe these people, but Corey is desperate to get back into Boyd again. Desperate. That's why she's been hanging out over at Rosie's. She is so mad because it was a joke that people started calling me the Queen of Boyd. She is so pissed off about that. So pissed off about it. She goes around saying, Lindy's not OG Boyd. Lindy's not OG Boyd. Bitch, you came to Boyd 2 months before I did. Take a seat. I am as OG Boyd as you are, and just because you don't like it doesn't mean diddly do to anybody. Not anybody. That was Erin, but you're right. That was Erin, weirdo. She was on a live hangout one day, and Erin, when he was little, came up to her and wanted to speak to her friends and give her a hug, and she said, get the fuck out of my face. Said that to him. He was about 6 years old at the time. On a live hangout, she told this 6-year-old little boy that just wanted to come up and hug her to get the fuck out of her face. Corey hasn't left. She does everything in the background. Yeah, she does every single thing in the background. But it's very interesting that Corey put up this video about hate today, and let me tell you, and I'm not making fun of Tammy, but I'm just telling you what a devoted grandmother Tammy is. If by some fluke, and Tammy was out of her head one morning when her grandchildren were spending the night with her, as they frequently do, and she realized that they had not brushed their teeth, she'd be running up there to the school and getting them teeth brushed, wouldn't you, Tammy? You'd be making sure those teeth was brushed. Good morning, Leanne. Um, exactly, Aggie. I mean, I don't know if some of you know that Sig Boyd Parodies put up a vote for who you want to be Queen of Boyd for 2020, and it was Tasha, Holly, Kat, Rory, Corey, and Rosie that you had to choose from. It started as a joke that people were calling me the Queen of Boyd, and then when I found out that it ticked them off, so we just ran with it. We just ran with it. Jack's exactly right. Funny, all the mothers with small children spend 24 hours a day online. Yep, yep, exactly, exactly. So Corey has there's more to her story than I could ever tell. There's more to her story than I could ever tell. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. Um, I made it clear. I said to you in my video that I put up to Cindy last night, you better stay out of my business. You better stay out of those twins' business. And you better stay out of my life, Corey, because life's a lot stronger. Whatever you do in my life is going to get done to yours tenfold. And I just don't know how much better to put it to you. And that doesn't just go for Corey, that goes to anybody. That goes to anybody. Um, but Cindy is doing a scope morning. But Cindy is doing a scope morning that is about hate. So, Cindy, this is what I have to say to you. If anybody is hating on you, Cindy, you've brought this hate on yourself. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. You've been trashing me for weeks and weeks and weeks now, calling me a clown and all this other kind of stuff. Demand anything. It's like somebody said in my comments, "We wish you wouldn't hang up, you wouldn't cam up." I mean, nobody has the right to tell anybody else what they need to do. Enough of my private life, homes, marriages, every single thing, all the stuff that they did to Heather, calling the hospital when she was on life support, calling the funeral home after she died. When my mother passed away last year in October of 2015, I did not even place an obituary because I didn't want the same harassment to them that happened when Heather passed away. And that's a damn shame. That's a damn shame that I had to do that. Aggie says Cindy showed her true cards when she badmouthed Cat for e-bagging and then was crying a few days later asking for money herself. Exactly. Exactly. And she bitched and bitched and bitched how she was going to go find Larry and be his next wife. And now all of a sudden, she's over all in Cat and Vegas's business, buddying up with them. Buddying up with them. So I don't give a damn what people say about me. Trash me all you want to. But those kids are going to be off limits. One way or another, they're going to be off limits. So, Cindy, as you can see from comments in here, people that have known you and followed you, any hate that you're getting, I don't think anybody hates you. I think people just don't like you. And I'm going to tell you something. Good morning, Cupcake. Yeah, Brazilian says, I remember she said, we're going to cook for him and all that. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Sam, welcome. Hope your son's doing well, Sam. We don't like flip floppers. And she's another Irene wanting people's attention and a lot like Matronista too. They're the type that go into a side chat and let's say I'm in a side chat and I speak to Weirdo. If he doesn't speak back to me, I'm going to assume that he didn't see me because the chat is moving quickly. I'm not going to type out, Weirdo, I spoke to you and you didn't speak to me. Why did you not speak to me, Weirdo? I haven't done anything to you. I mean, it's like, are you little? Are you 5 years old? Well, Boris could be the queen of Boyd, actually. That could be the real queen Boyd right there. But that's neither here nor there. We all know what he is. Yeah, Irene's been a huge disappointment. A huge disappointment. So, you know, you keep wanting to stir up lies, Corey, and there's plenty of us here that are going to keep busting you out. Plenty of us here that are going to keep busting you out. And I've got to get off of here because I've got to take my recluse self and get to volunteering today because I am over my cold and I volunteer 3 days a week at an assisted living. I don't know how I do that from my bed, but somehow I managed to do that from my bed. Huh. Interesting, isn't it? You go back to bed, as I'm sure you probably are now, Corey, and stop talking about my life. You don't know anything about my life. You were told things by two drunks and a druggie, and that's the information you got. That's the information you got there. So, love to you all. Seriously, I really do. You're all my friends in here, and I hate the fact that I know you all get hate for me, but just know I thoroughly, thoroughly appreciate every single one of you. You all have a wonderful Tuesday. Johnny, if you are still in here, I do want to talk to you. I will be around later this afternoon if you want to message me if you are going to be free. So, y'all have a wonderful day, and we will talk soon. Bye, guys.